By the way, I got my daughter with me for some of the morning until my wife gets back. So we'll have to be, you guys just be flexible with me, okay? All right. So let's get started. I do want to hear from you guys real quick, but let me just jump into this. So this is part of the founders group, and we're just doing a webinar series on different topics related to EOS, which is the Entrepreneurial Operating System. So I'm a business coach and I love teaching these concepts. So really just doing this as a help first opportunity. But yeah, if you want to scan that QR code, that's going to take you to the YouTube channel. There's a deep dive of me teaching on this topic if you're interested. So I'll kind of leave that up. But one of the things that we're trying to do within the founders group is really cultivate and create awesome community. And so here's what we're trying to do: connect, collaborate, and commit the right action. So Corbin, you're here. Ricardo, you're here. We appreciate you guys being here, and we do want to, ultimately connect, and that's what we're going to do here in a second. And then collaborate. I'm going to do some teaching, and then the goal is to take what you're learning, Ricardo, and actually do something with it. So Corbin, the goal is to take action at the end, take the right action. We're going to do some teaching on the accountability chart, the what, why, and the how, and then I'll have some next steps and announcements at the end. We'll do a quick checkout. So let's just jump right in, because I kind of want to get to know you guys. I love this quote, by the way: clear accountability will take you to the next level. So Corbin, we were kind of having a conversation a little bit beforehand, but why don't you go first? Just talk about who you are, what's the problem that you help others with, what was one personal win and one professional win in the past couple of weeks, and then finally, why are you here? What are you looking for to get out of today's webinar? And then Ricardo, you'll go next.
All right. Yeah. My name's Corbin Fanning. I'm actually a senior at Texas A&M University studying management information systems. And I recently got into entrepreneurship and was connected to the founders group through Ben Wiggins. He's an investor and a former Aggie, so I met him and just got really plugged in. And I saw this webinar and I was like, dang, that's really cool. And I'm in the process right now of bootstrapping and starting up a startup. I use a wheelchair, and I had a personal experience where airline totaled my wheelchair, like completely broke it, and had to buy me a new one. And kind of just seeing not like that. That's one of the biggest inaccessibility like problems is airlines breaking wheelchairs. But there's so many outside of that. With companies doing barely like they do compliance. They just do what they need to do to get in ADA and all this stuff, and don't go above and beyond, and don't see people with disabilities as like a return on investment. They don't see pursuing that. And people with disabilities between 2022 and 2024 spent about $100 billion with their companions that go with them, and they never really travel alone. They rarely travel alone. And so it's a big group of people that travel and tourism and transportation companies miss. And so we're trying to build a solution to that, looking into it. Have a couple ideas. I interned at American Airlines. There's some experience in there and looking at ways to all that. But I know a professional win, it's kind of professional / personal, was at A&M. They have senior capstone projects. I got in with one of the computer science projects. To create a product that I see could be useful in the future. But I think with this is you build like a prototype / MVP. And so that's kind of like we got selected for that. So that's really cool. And I guess from the webinar, like what I saw from the title, like strategic planning, just interested, kind of had one approach to how to get in with the airlines, but definitely having to kind of switch the thinking. So looking at like how to strategically plan, like kind of what to do. I kind of feel a little overwhelmed with all the information and what I could do and how to get in there. And then thinking about like traction and stuff. Cause I know investors now don't invest based on your idea. They invest based on traction. And so how to get that in the airlines is kind of hard because they are very oligopathy. It's kind of like you have a couple of big players and then their sales cycles are long. And so kind of stuck right now. Like I had one approach, but then a mentor of mine was like, yeah, you might not want to work with them too soon. So kind of like having to rethink that. So
totally.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I'm. Yeah, yeah.
Nice, Corbin.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Corbin. So we forgot to update the title. We actually are going to be doing more focus on structure. So
Yeah.
there will be some strategy that we talk about today, but it's primarily going to be getting the right people in the right seat, which I would argue is actually more important to get
Yeah.
right first before you get to strategy. But when we meet in, I think it's in 2 weeks. Yeah, the 21st, I believe.
Mhm.
That's when we're going to look at how do you build out like a 1 year annual plan for your business and for you with strategy. So I know we didn't update the title, and I'll definitely get with Adam to make sure that's accurate for the next one. But we are going to be looking a little bit more at the structure for today. But dude, thanks for being here. I'm here locally as well. Ben is actually right across the street from me. He's my neighbor. Yeah, it's so funny. So, but yeah, I'm here in Aggie land, and man, what a year it's been. So, but dude, if you ever want to connect in person, we definitely can do that. So,
Yeah,
thanks for
let's
being
do it.
here. Yeah. Okay, Ricardo, share a little bit about who you are, the problem you solve, and some of those questions.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie. First of all, congratulations for your cute child.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
It shows a lot about you, you know. Congratulations. It's
Thank
very
you. Thank
good
you.
to have kids around. I
Yeah,
know.
it is. Pull them
I have
in, man. Let's go.
Well, thank you for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Ricardo Filippo. You say my name. My company is Cobb Cobb. Cobb Cobb is an animal, African animal, an antelope. Very quick, very intelligent. Exists running around all Africa. I'm a Brazilian from Rio de Janeiro, and I live in Orlando, Florida. So
Okay.
I'm so sorry because my English is not perfect. Okay.
That's great. It's awesome. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for saying that. I have a big accent. Well, let's see. What I do with Cobb Cobb. Cobb Cobb is a services company about software. Okay.
Okay.
We developed custom software for clients, mainly websites currently. Okay. WordPress or Python or anything else, and systems. We do
Cool.
apps as well. We have uh, clients, several clients, dozens of clients, and a team of 17 engineers. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
I work currently using the platform Codable
Okay.
and my own things, you know.
Yeah.
So what I solve problems a lot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
help others solving software problems and business as well, trying to
Nice.
match the software with the business.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Well, I can had in past few weeks. Oh, okay. This Monday, I delivered a very big project for a model talent company in New York, Paris. A big company. We
Yeah.
made the website. We made the systems to hire, to organize, to deal with the company. Actually,
Yeah.
was a very big systems. Was a expensive software. We delivered this Monday. Now we are in the 1 month of tests and things. Everybody loving the new system.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good. What's the first? Oh, today.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to see what you have to tell us, Charlie, about this thing. You know,
Yeah.
project organization. What
Mhm.
is the entrepreneurial OS? Entrepreneur OS.
Entrepreneurial. Yep.
Yeah.
Operating system. Yes. Yes.
So,
Cool.
I'm curious. I want to see,
Yeah. Yeah.
understand what you have to do. Nice to meet you too, Corbin. Okay.
Yes. Great.
for coming.
Thank
I
you.
see we have other people here,
Yeah.
but I see Sir Adam Meek is there. The others are note takers, basically.
Yeah. Yep. And
Uh-huh.
these are recorded. So the goal is to actually take these and have them posted on the YouTube channel. And again, a lot of these topics are topics I've done before. And so you can go back and watch some of the YouTube videos that I've created. I'm constantly creating new stuff. But yeah, we're going to look at a little bit about the operating system, and eventually actually may do a deep dive just on that topic alone. So we'll touch on it in terms of the context. But since this is a smaller group, like, y'all feel free to slow me down, ask questions at any point, right? We can kind of customize this a little bit to fit what you need. So again, for me, number one problem I solve is bottlenecks. Typically, it's the CEO of a company, of the founder, or whoever the president or CEO is. And it's just like, it's all on them. They're the ones that do everything. And it's like, if they go, so goes the company. So I help them build a leadership team and eliminate basically the bottleneck that's themselves. And then personal win, really, my wife and I, we finally did a date night, which has been tough with having a little one. Okay, Corbin, one day I hope that God blesses you with that opportunity. But it's just one of those things where it's been difficult to get away from the kids and to just connect like we did before we had kids. So that was a big win. Professional win. I'm working with a client right now, and we are working through their 3-year strategic plan and working backwards to their 1-year plan. And that's going really well. And that's been awesome, getting them focused for 2026. So we're not done yet, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. And then my number one result for you guys for today is just, I want to serve. I want to be a servant to y'all and make sure that you guys are having, this is the highest and best use of our time. So that's why I'm just constantly asking you, hey, what's your expectations? I want to make sure your expectations get met. So again, feel free to jump in and ask questions. I want to start off right out the gate and ask kind of an open-ended question. So your people need to know where they fit and what they're accountable for. They will greatly appreciate this. Think about the best organization you've ever been a part of, and think about accountability. So just real quick, like, Corbin, when you hear accountability, how would you define that?
Well, I think there's a couple definitions to it. Being a Christian myself, accountability from kind of strive, like from sin or something. But I think for me, accountability is that keeping you on the path, on the trajectory, and like helping you stay on the path. So that's how I define it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And Ricardo, accountability for you, how would you define it? Just real brief.
Accountability. For me, it's to be aware about what's going on and take actions to organize, maintain it as you want.
I love that. Yeah. Awareness and action. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So break the word down. Accountability, the ability to account for things. Okay. And so truly what this comes down to is saying that you say what you mean what you say. And so I want you guys to think about, again, high level, what's the cost of low accountability? If you say you're going to do something, but you don't follow through, what is that costing you? It's costing you your integrity, your reputation. Think about the results you're getting for your clients, okay? Not following through. And also, a true accountability really is just walking in that integrity, that character piece. So you're starting to chip away at, can you really trust what this person is saying, right? And so again, I just open and honest for you guys, and I'll go first just to show you guys, how would you rank accountability on your current team? And for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is best, need no improvement. A 1 is it's really bad, okay? I'm probably about a 6 or a 7 for where I would like to be. But for you guys, well, how would you rank your accountability right now on your team?
Probably mine would be a 2, because we just started out, and the only thing keeping us accountable is deadlines, I guess.
Yeah.
Of hey, we have to present this thing
Totally.
We have it December 6th, so that I would say it's not the best.
Yeah. So
Congratulations.
welcome to being here. This is a great place for you to be. You know, I need to grow. You need to grow. I'm sure Ricardo, we all need to grow. Ricardo, how would you rate your accountability?
I could say 5, 6. It's
5, 6.
difficult to have accountability. It's very difficult.
It's hard.
I
Yeah.
try.
It's sure. And that's why we're here. And so one of the things I want to help you guys understand is the EOS model, it focuses on creating accountability with each of the key areas of your business. So like Ricardo, high level, keeping it super simple. There are 6 areas in your business. And the first one is the vision. And that's just where you're going to go and how you're going to get there. That's one area that you want to say, this is where we're going, how we're going to get there. And you're holding yourself to that standard of accountability. And the vision is what we're going to do a deeper dive on in our next webinar. So definitely, I hope you guys can make that in about 2 weeks. The people is what we're going to look at today. And that's really trying to understand, how do you get the right people in the right seat? And I'm going to talk about that today. Number 3 is data. And the data component is just, how do you make really good decisions, Corbin, for the greater good of the business? Sorry, guys, he's crying a little bit down here. Number 4 is the issues component. And here's what this comes down to. If you have a really clear vision and you have the great people on your team, okay, and you're making really good decisions, you know what's going to start to surface to the top of the organization is issues. We can call those problems or even like opportunities that you want to attack. And the ultimate goal here is to systemize your business. And that really comes down to doing things the right and best way every single time. And so when we say process, we're talking about keeping it simple. And finally, Corbin, you mentioned this earlier, traction, right? That's the one that moves the needle. But you see, these other key components, they all interrelate. And so if you can't get a clear vision, you don't have great people, you don't have really good process in place to make decisions, to solve issues, you're not going to get the traction. And so they all interrelate. And today we're going to actually look at specifically the idea of putting the right people in the right seats. So again, just want to open it up to you guys to understand a little bit of what is an accountability chart. And the accountability chart ultimately is a way to enhance who does what in your organization. So Corbin, I know you guys are small, you're in the beginning stage, just fine. If you could multiply yourself, if you could duplicate and clone yourself, where would you put the other Corbins? Okay, and same thing for you, Ricardo. If you could just duplicate yourself, clone yourself, where would you put the other Ricardos? And that is what is so important, is that you need to understand, what would that look like to say everybody's accountable, everybody's clear and aligned on who does what and who reports to who. Are you guys with me on that? Thumbs up if you're with me. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, another context here is, how do you use the accountability chart? And the ultimate goal here is you're trying to really continuously answer this question: what are our core values of the organization? And so again, in the early stages, Corbin, it's fun, it's exciting, you're in startup mode, but core values is defining and discovering who you truly are. And Ricardo, you probably already have them as well, but it's saying your core values determine the right person. And then putting them in the right seat means that they ultimately understand exactly what to do. What we call is they GWC, and we'll talk about what that means today. They get it, they want it, and they have the capacity to do it. All right, guys. Let me hit pause real quick. I'm gonna see if I can get a passage.
Take your time.
Hey, baby.
Very. Kids are kids. A lot of work with them.
Yeah, that's why I like being single right now.
You have kids, Corbin?
Nope.
No.
I'm 21 years old, so I'm not there yet.
You still didn't have time to do that.
Not yet, man.
Yeah. I know how it is. Yeah. I'm 65.
And I
So,
like my singleness to pursue entrepreneurship. I think it's a good perk.
but yeah, no, use
Oh,
the
she got
life
it.
when you are young. After
Yeah.
it will be difficult. Each time worse.
All right, you never know how much a passy makes a difference. It's crazy.
Okay,
Okay,
now he's calm.
there we
Sheila,
go.
you
She's a
know,
little bit calmer. She's a little bit calmer. So, there is a book out there called Traction, which I highly encourage you guys to take a look at. But basically, the core values, when we say, hey, Corbin, again, I want you to imagine you've cloned yourself or you have 100 people in your organization. Okay, just visualize that. And same thing, Ricardo, you said you have like what, 17, 13 engineers, right? Every single person on your team, how do you know they fit your organization, your specific organization? And here's the key. 100% means that they totally understand the core value and they exemplify the core value. So like the reason this is so important, strategy definitely is important, but if you don't have a good culture, you're going to lose great people. And so, you know, what's so costly is when you bring in a great employee and then there's a bad culture fit or some sort of poison in the organization and you lose a great employee. Does that ever happen? Or you've seen that even in the movies and stuff? It's like, what is it costing you to rehire and retrain and redevelop somebody? It's like, oh my gosh. So let's make sure that when you bring somebody into your organization, they fit the company's core values. They fit it like a glove. And so I want to just explain a little bit about what I mean by core values. This is the DNA of your company, Corbin, and you're in the early stages. This is fun, man. You could create it, but you need to define it. Ricardo, it already exists. It's who you are at the core. And this is why this matters so much. Okay, I want you guys to think about this. You're attracting the right people and repelling the wrong people. Okay. And so if you're growth minded, which I'm assuming both of you are because you're here and you want to learn, you want to be around others who are also growth minded. Yes. So imagine being around somebody that's prideful, stuck in their ways, and not growth minded. Oh, that would be so frustrating. That would be so difficult to be around. And so that's why this is important. You want to take the core values to the next level. Ricardo, I love this analogy. Let's get all the arrows pointed in the same direction. That's what this is about. This is why this matters. You have to make sure we're setting up the people on our team in the right direction. And the goal is to consistently bring that back. So managing human energy. So do you create core values? Do they just come out of nowhere? No, you don't create them. You discover them. And here's what this looks at. There's an exercise that we use called Keep, Kill, Combine. And again, I'm giving you guys, feel free to take a screenshot of this or just kind of look at these up. If you want to actually see how core values are discovered in an exercise, doing an actual exercise, there's 3 different books in specific chapters that talk about it. And obviously you can reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. But those 3 chapters and those 3 specific books, the Traction book, the People book, and there's another book called Get a Grip. Corbin, not many people have heard of that one, but it's the same basically book as Traction, but it's told in a business fable. Those 3 chapters will literally lay out exactly how to do it. And it's pretty awesome. So,
Hey, Charlie, could I ask you a question?
oh yeah, go ahead.
I was looking it up. That's the book by Gino Wickman, right? The Traction.
Yep.
So is this like, are you part of the EOS system? Is that kind of what this is?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So is this like a national company thing that y'all help?
Yeah. So EOS is a framework of
Yeah.
how to run a business, and it's based on the 6 key components. And we are a international company, and we are a franchise company. So the way it works is that we basically train up business coaches to now train other business owners off of a framework. So there's probably 800 of us that are franchise owners that technically have the title EOS implementer, but just think we're a business coach that is certified and trained with the material and the principles from the book Traction. And there's so many good ones out there. So it's kind of like you can take the book, you can take any book and apply it. But if you have a proven process where hundreds of thousands of companies have gone through the process. I mean, it really is. It's a framework on how to run a business. It's an operating system, right? So yeah, great question. Cool. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's keep going here. So the keep, kill, combine, and again, I'm just going to give you high level because it would take too long to explain the details. But the first key is to identify who are the best employees in our company, describe their behavior, narrow those down. So let's say you come up with 30 different attributes of the behavior. You would narrow it down to potentially like the top 3 to 7. And then you would start to filter. And when you're filtering it, you're actually going to try to say, okay, let's go down and test which of these core values we actually truly think are core. And there's a whole exercise on it. But then eventually, this is the goal, Ricardo, standardize. You standardize the core values. And once you can standardize them, then you're going to be able to take your company to the next level. So let's say how to use core values. And this is super important. Let's say these are the 5 core values of your company. These are the ones for EOS. And you have your employees on the left side. And this could be future employees, whether you're potentially going to hire somebody in like an interview process, or it could be your current employees. And you just use a simple plus, minus, and minus system. So here's what it comes down to. You need to set the standard, or what we call is the bar. So when you're setting a standard, you're saying, if you're going to work at our company, this is like the minimum standard. If you're not going to be you're going to be unhappy, and it's just not a good fit. Do you really want to work here if you're all about not being humble? Okay, if you're prideful, it's just not a good fit. It's one of our core values. It's who we are at the core. And so again, I'm just giving you guys a simple example. And the plus doesn't mean you're perfect. Here's what the plus means. 80% of the time, you embody and exemplify this core value. The plus minus means 50-50. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Thank you, baby. The minus means most of the time, Corbin, you don't embody and exemplify the core value. And so it can be really frustrating to be around people. I mean, think about it. You ever been on a team where like the core value is like work hard and the other person's lazy and you're there to work? It's just frustrating, right? So it's going to cause friction. So that's why I'm saying like the strategy and stuff, all that's so important and need, but you got to build your team. You got to have a standard of saying, this is who we are and this is what we represent. So that's why it's so important. So again, just kind of keeping it high level. And I want to open it up to some questions here and then we'll get to the next section. How do you use the core values? Hiring and firing. Like you really can fire people. So I'll give you a great one. Core values for Southwest. Okay. Great company. And speaking of airlines, by the way, back in the day, the company's kind of heading in a different direction right now. But back in the day, it was, lots of fares, low fares, lots of fun, and lots of flights. It's like, the 3 LFs. It's like so great, right? And they're all about being like people centric. Like, so they were actually willing to fire people that didn't fit the core values. Chick-fil-A, another great company that's doing some great things. It's like you have got to be able to be the best, one of the best employees in the entire organization for customer service. And that's why they always say, my pleasure. And they're so good at that, generally speaking. And so what the key is for you is, are you hiring and firing your current employees and future employees with core values? Are you sitting down and reviewing, recognizing, and rewarding them continuously to making sure that what gets rewarded gets repeated? And so that's a little bit of an opening of how you use it. So some other thoughts here: interviews, new hires. There's something that we call the state of the company address. So Ricardo, that would be like every 90 days, you get up in front of the entire organization and you give a speech, a state of the company address. Quarterly conversations are some others. You can do it in your weekly level 10 meeting. And there's even something called a 3 strikes conversation, which we can get into. But this is kind of cool. Look at this. You can create a core value speech. So Corbin, you can even do this now. As you come up and discover and define your core values, you know what will help you make the core values come to life? Having a story, having an analogy. One company, for example, they were all about being flexible. Like, hey, let's adapt and adjust. Let's be really good at being flexible. So they kind of came up with Gumby back in the day, the green guy with all the Gumby. And so they would hand out Gumby things to employees that were flexible. And another example is like a history. Is there a time in our organization? That's why you can actually start doing this now, Corbin. Has there been a time where somebody said, we want to sacrifice, and somebody sacrificed for the greater good of the organization. And so, and then the anti-value. Ricardo, you know what's helpful is to be clear on what this does not look like. So what's the opposite of humility? Pride. What's the opposite of we always walk in integrity? You could say we're always cheating and stealing. Okay. We're always not honest. We're dishonest. So those are a couple examples of how you can actually crystallize it. And then you can come up with a speech and give that speech during the core values, during the SOCA, the State of the Company address. So again, I just kind of have a quick question for you guys. Do you currently have clear company core values? And if so, are you using them for these uses? So I just want to hear from both of y'all real quick.
Ricardo, I want to hear from you first. Curious.
Ricardo?
Yes, the Club has a clear company core values, and of course, we need to use it to manage the company. Yeah, utilize your core values, the greater good of the organization. Yeah. Just to say, the most important value or core value in Cobb is humanity. You need to be honest, ethical, and a friend of your mates, work together. It's the core value.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's much, much more important than the skills, for example.
Yeah.
The skills you will learn. But it's difficult to change the character of a person. So what can you do to better utilize it? Yeah. Good question.
Yeah, no, it's good. And that's, I want you to think about how you're currently doing it. Can you get better at it? So, okay. Yeah, that's great.
What we do is make meetings, put people to talk all time.
Yes.
Not scrum talks.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
but personal things, not a list of work to do, but personal.
Yeah.
Okay? Humanizing things.
Yes.
For example, we have important thing. Don't do anything on Friday.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
Slow it down.
It's important. Yeah. Let's talk on Fridays. Mondays are the opposite. You have a lot of things to do. It's stressful. But Fridays, no. And the weekend is not company. Nobody works on the weekend.
That's beautiful.
So I believe it's something I can do, but it's a good question. What can you do to better utilize your core values?
It's something to think about and to ask the people on your team. Right.
Yep,
okay,
exactly.
Corbin, I know you're in the early stages, but what's becoming clear for you, man?
So we haven't really, I need to talk with my co-founder specifically, but I think we haven't really defined core values, but we're not really making like any hires right now. But we did, and we're in this collaboration with the student organization, and they'll pair you with engineers to help you with like your startup. And so we got a couple guys, and I think they really fit like when we were looking through the resume, we talked about it, and I think there was some implicit core like values we were looking for. We haven't really kind of talked about it and defined those. But I know like for me that I want to really have like I look up to like Chick-fil-A, Hobby Lobby, like those or Costco. This is a great one. Their core values, and I think of having that core value. A big thing I've been reading and is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Love that speaker. So like his book of having that like kind of like why and that drive to be in this business. And the main one for us is being not in it for like the money, but in it to help as many people as possible.
Yes.
Because this startup is to solve like not only a personal problem, but a problem for a lot of people, and that's why we're in it. And so that's a big one. And then I think another big one for me is like hey, when you're knocked down, when life is tough, you just you get up and keep going. And
Yeah.
I think that's a big core value. So I've thought about a few. I'm gonna wait till the end of the semester, probably to discuss. Like, I think really honing in on like the core values and what we're looking for over
Beautiful. Yes.
the break. So yeah.
So you guys have some resources here. I've given you a couple of the books to look up and specific chapters. You don't have to read the whole book, but just the chapter. There's another article out there by Harvard Business Review, and it's called Make Your Values Mean Something by Patrick Lencioni. It's a very powerful article, and you can easily find it on Harvard Business Review. And then again, if you get stuck, you guys have access to me. Okay, you should have my contact information. You can reach out directly to me. But it's important. This is the DNA. This is the culture. This is the building blocks of who you are at the core. Okay. And that's all we're trying to do is answer this question. How do you put the right people in the right seat, the right engineer in the right seat? And that's the first question. The second question is, now that you have core values and you want to put them in the right seat, how do you figure out what the right seat is? And so we have to come up with the basics. And here's the basics, Corbin. You have a sales and marketing function of your business. Okay. Even though it's early, still it exists. You're selling and marketing something, this concept, this idea. And then once somebody actually, an investor or an actual customer, Ricardo, now you have to operate. You have to actually deliver the good product or service. And then you need to track the finance. You need to make sure all three of these functions are strong. Nod your heads if you're with me. All three must be strong, okay? Because if you're weak in one, it can really impact the company. And so the whole key with the accountability chart is to say, well, we need somebody to make sure that these three are harmonizing and organizing. They're coming together, working together harmoniously, right? There's alignment. Again, nod your heads if you're with me. That's what we call the integrator function. They're doing exactly what it sounds like, integrating. They're bringing these three functions together so that they're talking and on the same page. And then you have this is a typical organization. A visionary is casting vision. They're creating the chaos. They are all about big ideas, big relationships. And so the visionary and the integrator work together. They work together to help the other three functions function at the highest level possible. And this is the most basic, simplest version. You could change it to like engineering. You could change some of the titles, but we don't really talk about titles. We just talk about function. What is the function of this organization, right? Within this function.
And so, could I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I feel like I sort of like this was the visionary.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I have an integrator yet. It's my buddy that's like co-founder. He's the technical, so he's more on the product side. So I guess would you recommend having a third founder that is that kind of integrator?
So if he is probably more in the operations seat, which is maybe what it's operations, then what's happening is because like it's a 2-person organization, so you guys are both wearing multiple hats. But so you're visionary and you're probably doing integrator. He's in operations, and maybe both of you are doing a little bit of marketing and sales, and then somebody's taking care of the finances at some point. So eventually you do probably need to maybe say, what would it look like to add? I mean, in the perfect world, Corbin, it would be nice to have one person for each of those boxes. So you would have a team of 5 in the perfect ideal world, but you're in early startup phase. So maybe it's like, well, maybe we have 2, or you could hire a fractional integrator. Those exist. You get it maybe 1 day a week, you get them, and they're hired at a fraction of a cost, but they bring that high level professionalism of the integrator. So the key here is that you're not looking at where you've been. You're not creating this based on where you are. Ricardo, you're saying the next 6 to 12 months in the future. So you build it in the future. What's the right structure? And that's really important, because it's like Stephen Covey, the 7 habits of highly effective people begin with the end in mind, and you work your way backwards. And so that's why this is important. But you know what's more important is once you have the structure, now we need to clarify who is accountable for what. So don't look at people. Even though it's easy, Corbin and Beck, well, I'm probably the visionary and then I fit here. Just think function. Take yourself out of the box. Eliminate yourself, Ricardo, from the picture. Don't look at the person. Don't look at your current engineers and all the people on your team, your co-founder. Just say, what does a sales and marketing function need to be accountable and responsible for? These 5 things. Keep it simple, 5. Right? What about the finance? Okay, what about the operations at a high level? And it's just simple. Keep it simple. And so notice we're not talking about people. We're talking about what structure. What's the right structure? And so eventually you may customize it and it may look like this. Again, maybe you have a 15, 20 person organization. And so eventually it looks like this, where you have multiple structures. You have even multiple levels of the accountability chart. But now we want to go back and fill the seats with our current team. So we bring it back to reality and we say, let's put the right people in the right seats. And so how do you do that? This is that tool I mentioned earlier. Let's say your operations, Corbin, that these are the 5 roles. And so you want to ask, does Jim Bob, and you're thinking, let's say this is your co-founder, or potentially you're going to hire somebody and you move your co-founder to the integrator seat. Okay. So now you need to fill this seat. The operations seat is empty. Who's gonna be the best person? And you're looking around, and maybe you need to hire somebody. And so you're saying, does Jim Bob in the interview process, you're asking questions, does he understand? Does he get it? Does he want it? Because if he doesn't want it, that's a bad deal. And does he have the capacity and the capability to do it? It's gotta be a yes, yes, yes. So Ricardo, let's take this and apply it to our people analyzer. This is the tool that you analyze your people. So I'm gonna do a quick pop quiz. So Ricardo, Sally, okay, is she the right person in the right seat? Meaning, does she fit the core values? Is she the right person?
Yep.
Yes. Is she in the right seat?
More or less.
More or less, no, she's not. She doesn't understand what the seat is, and she doesn't have the capacity and capability to do it. So that's an issue. Now, so that's an issue. It doesn't mean you fire her. It means you need to have a conversation. Now, Corbin, what about this guy, John Smith? What's wrong here? Is he the right person in the right seat?
Well, he could be fill the right seat, but he's not, doesn't have the skills or doesn't match the core values.
Yeah. So does that mean you fire him? Well, maybe, but you need to have a conversation. It's the same. We call him the brilliant jerk, right?
Yeah.
And we all know them. And then we don't know really, George Wilson is just inconsistent. We don't know what's going on. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't, right?
You never know. Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get with George. Okay. So those are the 2 types of issues you're going to run into, is that you have the right person in the wrong seat or the wrong person in the right seat. And so let's bring it back to a summary here. And I want to open it up for some discussion. To make sure you're building a great organization, you have to have great people, and you need to clarify, what does it mean to be a great fit? That's your core values. The right people means core values. How do you know they're in the right seat? They GWC the 5 roles of each of the seats that they're in, because they could be in multiple seats. But the key is that only one person ultimately is accountable for that seat. So even Corbin, you and your co-founder are both doing marketing and sales. Who ultimately is accountable? It needs to be one person, because if everyone's accountable, no one's accountable. So that's what I got for you guys in terms of the concepts. I mean, what questions do y'all have in terms of the model and in terms of understanding this?
No, I guess for me, it's like, I feel like I'm sort of accountable for visionary, integrator, and marketing and sales. In finance, I can take care of it. I think, I mean, I could get, operator to do it, but or my co-founder, but I feel like he's really good at operations and building products and computer science. That's his major. And he's really good at that. And so that's why I was thinking of bringing like a
Nice.
third person on, kind of to fill, like, because I feel overwhelmed right now. And so
Totally.
I'm thinking of bringing
Totally.
it on to help. So what do you think of that?
Yeah. Well, again, it goes back to for you, would
Mm.
that help you for the greater good of your organization? Would it help you better focus and execute? And the answer is
Yeah.
probably yes. But here's the key. If you're going to bring somebody on, do you already have clarity of what they're going to do? And if the
Yeah.
answer is no, well, now it's going to be confusing. Well, who does that and who reports to who? So that's why this is an exercise that you don't do in
Mm.
isolation. Ideally, you would bring all three of you in a room and you would hire somebody like me to be a facilitator, and I would facilitate it to objectively bring in each of y'all's
Mm.
perspectives and y'all co-create it, because ideas are like little children. Others are nice, but you like your own the best. So I'm not going to create your accountability chart. You are creating it. I will help you with facilitation, but you're going to create the best accountability chart that you can come up with. And then you could refine it in 30 days and refine it and update it in 60 days. And you continuously go. It's not a one-time exercise. You continuously go back to it. Ricardo, what about for you?
Yeah, look, I believe nobody's perfect. The opposite. Everybody is incompetent, actually, for everything. We are good in something,
Yes.
of course. Maybe taking care of a baby, or maybe
Yeah.
doing the finance. You are good in something. Probably you like it.
Yeah.
So you do or not. You are good in don't like it. Doesn't matter. But you need to understand your limits and ask for help. So don't try to do things alone. It will not work.
Mm.
So good people, of course, you need to have the right people. Not
Yes.
only for you, the owner of the company or the founder or anything, but for the team. You said, Charlie, the core values are things that is constructed by the team, by the company.
Yes.
What's
Yes.
necessary for the business to go? I used to say my company is a lot of companies, are a lot of companies in the same place, because each customer has its own demands,
Mm-hmm.
and the customer will change the company. So
Yeah.
why do I have too many engineers working? Because each customer needs different things.
Yeah.
So we need to make kind of a mirror between the customer, the client, and the professional and the company. So
Yes.
nobody will serve perfectly.
Yeah.
Nobody will be totally under the core values. The core values is not so uh, 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 clear, actually, because it depends on where we are working with this company.
Yeah.
So I have the right people. I don't know if I have. I believe I have. But for some project, it works.
Yeah.
For another project, I need other people.
Yeah.
So it's important point. Right people, right seats. What the seats are
Yeah.
depends on the project.
Yeah.
Depends on, as I say, it's my core value, humanity, understanding what the other wants.
Yeah.
You know? A company is not a machine, exactly. A company attends human beings.
Yeah.
So nothing can be more human than a company or a machine. It's so human too, but a
Yeah.
company is basically relationship.
It is.
Mm.
And that's what it comes down to, is like, it's relational. This is a relational thing that we're doing no matter what you're in. And so again,
Thank
Mike,
you.
yeah, and I love that. I love what you're saying. You have to be a mirror. So my challenge to y'all is just the core values and the accountability chart are very important. And as you're continuing to grow the company and expand, is to get serious about setting up an accountability chart, not an org chart. The accountability chart goes so much deeper and further, and it really does make it clear. Every single person should know what they are accountable for and who they are accountable to. And that is so powerful. Now, a couple upcoming events, and we'll do a quick checkout here in the last 5 minutes. So I do have another, it's more of a lunch and learn. So it's 45 minutes. I'm doing it later today if you guys want to jump on, 11 to 11:45 Central. So in about 30 minutes. Feel free to jump in if you want. And if you are super interested, just send me an email. There's my email address. And then our next one that we're going to be doing on November 14th, and so about 2 weeks, I guess that's next week actually, is going to be on how to build your annual business plan. So I hope that you guys can make that. And that's where we're going to talk more about the strategy piece, Corbin, that you were kind of looking for today. So if y'all want help, this was one of the videos that I had created on how to do core values, right? And how to do the accountability charts, more of kind of what we talked about today. So I'd encourage you to take a look at that with the code. And then also there is a software out there, Corbin, if you're familiar with 90.io. And Ricardo, if you aren't familiar with it, you can get a free 30-day trial. If you guys try that software out, I would be more than happy to jump on a Zoom call with you and show you exactly how to use it. I use it in my own business when I'm using the EOS framework and helping as an implementer. The clients I work with love it. It simplifies the principles that we talked about earlier. For example, building your core values or discovering them, and then actually building an accountability chart. So by the way, there's my phone number if you guys want free help. Okay, so quick checkout. I got 3 questions for y'all. You ready for this? This is quick. What's one thing that you learned about yourself today? What's the one action step? Corbin, just tiny. What's the one action step you're going to take in the next 7 days? And then finally, what was your key takeaway? So whoever wants to share first, I would love to hear from both of y'all. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think one thing I learned is like, yeah, that accountability of like what you're doing. And I've heard from like my uncle talked about a similar book he read that had that. You have the visionary, then like yours is the visionary and the integrator. And you have like the visionary who's like driving the company, and then you have the operator who's running it basically.
Yes.
And so I think and learn about myself, like trying to hold, like at the beginning stage, you are holding a lot of hats and trying to be accountable for that. And so it's like, and if that holding that too many hats in that accountability chart is like, do you need to delegate that? Is that too much on your plate? And then I guess, so for my action step, I think would be kind of to think about that accountability chart, and maybe start trying to I think just going through and figuring out the 5 roles or something that goes with each, and then how like if we need to bring somebody on or something like that. So I think start with that. Then my key takeaway, I think, is like the visionary integrator, they might have like skills in marketing and sales, operations and finance, and like they might, like it's with me, I want to touch a lot of aspects of the business, but it's like you need help with that. And so what I kind of took away is like you can have feet in the water of every different aspect, but you want to have that visionary and that integrator too, and more people to make it work. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like the way.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. Those are some key takeaways. I'm so thankful for your key takeaways. And if you need help, again, reach out to me. We could meet up and, like I said, get some coffee or something. Ricardo, you get the last word.
Oh man, thank you so much. First, congratulations, Corbin. You are beginning, but you are in a good way. I'm sure it will be a success. You have my bless, okay, with you. Well, it's difficult to answer, learn, action, and highlight. The way from today, don't desist. Be firm. Have faith.
Yeah.
You will do this. Sometimes it's difficult to do. Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy, you know. So continue. Try again. what I think I learned about yourself. I don't know. I'm learning a lot of things every time. It's
Yeah.
important to learn. Action. What an action the Fox in the next 7 days. Oh, I will try to exercise myself more. After 60, you need to exercise to survive. It's
Let's
nothing to
go.
do with business. It's about
Yeah.
myself.
Exercise. No, it helps. Yes.
I'm sorry for saying that, but it's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Charlie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Corbin. Was a pleasure. You are very good with this. I
Well,
loved your EOS. Okay.
yeah.
I promise I will take a better look.
Yeah. Take a look at
And
the YouTube channel, guys. There's a lot of
yeah,
free resources on there. And reach out. You have my email, my phone number. If we need to set
Well,
up
will
a
you go back to
call,
that slide
can.
with your number on it in your email? I was trying to write
Yes.
it down, but I
Yeah.
didn't get it
Let me
in
go.
time.
Let me go back here. Another thing too is that last slide. It said
okay.
it said that it was on, let's see, the 14th. I was looking at my calendar. It's wrong. That's a typo. So the 21st will be our next one. So just make sure you get that in your calendar for the strategic plan. So 2 weeks, 2 weeks out. But yeah, there's my phone number. There's my email. And then if you scan the QR code, it will take you to a deep dive on my YouTube channel. But hey, man, be blessed. You guys have an amazing Friday. Ricardo, enjoy not working on Friday. Do what you need to do with relationships. That's what matters most. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Hey,
Take
Charlie,
care.
I won't
Take
be
care.
able to make it to the one after on Traction. Do y'all
Yeah.
have like that recorded somewhere
Yeah,
on YouTube?
we'll be posting it. We'll be
Okay.
posting it.
Thank
So,
you. Thank
Awesome.
you.
y'all be
Take
blessed.
care. Enjoy
See
the
ya.
weekend. Be
Thank you.
safe. Bye.
Bye.